right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Scott's Quick Cash Class. Took a little time off, had a little vacation in there, spent a little time with the family, went to see a museum, battleship museum, saw another house that was to a really old state senator. So super exciting stuff. Got to spend some time with the family, which is the most important thing, which is why we need to get in touch with our finances, right? So we're going to be talking about how to build wealth automatically, right? Because a lot of times when we think about retirement, or I won't even go that far, when we think about getting some money saved, whether that's 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, a lot of times that can just be a daunting number, and we don't necessarily realize, or we don't want to even take that first step of how to get there. So an interesting fact for you, you only need to invest $100 a week at 10% to be a millionaire in 32 years. Now, let's break that down. So that's about $400 a month, $5,200 a year, which is less than you can put in your Roth IRA. You can do $7,000, by the way. But if you put in $5,200 a year, basically, in 32 years, if you invest in the S&P 500, you'll be a millionaire. But for you younger folks, that's A, 32 years is a long time, and B, $1 million isn't going to be what you need to retire. It actually looks like you're going to need closer to 1.5, maybe even 2, according to some of the statistics that I've seen. But 57% of you Gen Zers are worried about retirement, or if you're going to have enough for comfortably retire, and that's a very realistic fear, and it's not just for that generation. I'm 45, so I'm kind of in between a few generations, and I can tell you this: when I talk to people of the older generations, a lot of them are looking for secondary income because they didn't make good choices when they were younger. And hopefully, if you guys are following along and listening to a few different habits, hopefully you're picking some up on that. So this is about behaviors, right? And getting in good routines. And compound interest is something that if you can get into a routine of investing, it's amazing how much compound interest helps. So do this, try this, right? Because we just want to get that first step out of the way. And there's a lot of different ways to do that. There's a few different places I recommend, but you want to get it automated, right? Everything is about automation and getting it automated, so you don't even miss that money coming out of your paycheck. So if you have a employer 401k, I definitely recommend you to use that one and make sure you maximize the company match. But set up your own. Go with Vanguard, Fidelity, Schwab. They're all solid ones. Robinhood is a very easy one to use. But get an account set up on there and find a few different ETFs. You only need to invest in one. I'm a Vanguard fan. I like them. I think they have pretty low management fees, which, that's something we can talk about in another episode. But basically, that's how much it costs you to be part of this fund. If you give them $100, they take a certain percentage of that as their fee. But Vanguard has really low ones. And a few of the good ones are VOO, VOO, VIG, VIG, and then VGT is a very good index fund ETF that you could automate your savings in that. So very easy first step. You can automate with $25, $50. It's just something to get set up so it's consistently going in there. Also, something like Acorns is another app that does roundups on your purchase. So when you use your card, it'll round it up. It's just habits to start saving money, and before you realize it, after a year, after 2 years, you'll have a significant amount of money in there that you'll actually be able to then make decisions on. So get in that habit of setting up routine automatic deposits into these different investment accounts. So we're going to leave you with the question of the day, tip of the day. So question of the day: what is one habit hurting your financial future right now? And it could be a small one, it could be a big one, but hopefully if you've been following along, it's just about changing habits, right? And that's really hard for me. to do, because I get into my routines and I like them. But even though I know they're not good for me, I still do them just because they're part of a routine. So try to do that in your financial future, because once you start doing that and it just becomes routine, you know, that $25 a week coming out of your checking account to go to buy Bitcoin or a mutual fund or whatever that might be, if you get in the habit of doing that and get it set up, you won't even miss it. You'll feel it the first few times, but then after that, you're just gonna be like, oh, what am I up to? What am I up to? And you'll be checking your account. So I encourage you to do that. And then tip of the day, I kind of led into that, but tip of the day is automated transfers will beat willpower 100% of the time. So set it, forget it, and you'll be on your way to 1 million. But hopefully you learned something new today. Appreciate you guys watching. If you leave us with a question or a comment, I'll definitely get back to you. And stay tuned for the next episode. We're bringing you some more 5-minute clips. Once again, never trying to sell you anything, just trying to help you out with your finances and get you in a better place. Till next time.